Coach Olcom was saying how much they pounded into your heads every day to get more sacks, the whole line. Has that come through?
I think it's starting to show up day by day. One thing that Coach Ocam and the entire defensive coaching staff they're emphasizing is just getting 1% better. No matter what, for me personally, like I'm working on trying to be a more consistent pass rusher, or just play lower, or play use my hands more, stuff like that. So just every day and before practice, just everybody individually, if they come in trying to focus on one thing, and everyone does that consistently, the whole team they'll make that next jump. So like that's what we're trying to emphasize, especially when it comes to pass rush.
Is a lot of that just technique, grasping fundamentals?
I think what I'm starting to realize is the technique is showing off, but the biggest thing is just finishing rushes. That trying to finish in your rip through. If you reach, what I'm saying, like that saves a second. Like you could get there faster to the quarterback. So we're just working on finishing blocks, finishing pass rush moves, and just trying to get to the quarterback, violently and fast.
Coach Rules talked about not only 1% better, but everybody kind of finding their groove, their lane. What do you think is sort of your role, your lane on this team?
I think being a fifth-year guy, a transfer guy, is finally just stepping in and doing the things that these coaches and my teammates believe in me, and that's just being a vocal leader, leading by example, showing up, being consistent in the run game, being consistent, as a pass rusher, and just doing things correctly on and off the field at all times.
How much of what you do in your leadership style was maybe things you picked up from Greg and Ira and Xavier and those guys?
I think just coming in from my first year here at Baylor and just seeing Greg Roberts and seeing like where he was at and to where the jump he made his fifth year here was amazing. And he definitely set a very good example for some of the younger guys like myself and James and Bravion, just to like lead by example and finally working in consistently and just changing the way you think and changing the way you play, and hopefully ultimately succeeding. Greg had the best year he's had last year, and hopefully he'll get a shot somewhere with the team. So guys like that really paved the way for our younger guys like myself, and not just him. There was a lot of seniors last year who definitely helped out, like Pat Lawrence, Blake Blackmore, and stuff like that. So
I know you guys can't just sit back and still enjoy the bowl game at this point, but you've been around for a while now. You saw 1-11, you saw the struggles there. How much better do you see each guy getting on a daily basis, and how much did having sort of a payoff to the hard work help launch you guys into this facet of training?
I remember it was towards the end of the season last year. Coach McGuire talked to the team and saying like this year, this is a good year to look back on, but next year, talking about this year, is the year that we're going to make that jump and really shock the Big 12. So I feel like we are getting better. Everybody, offensively, defensively, everybody individually, they're working on things, and it's starting to show up on tape. This is starting to really look like a real physical, tough, sound, disciplined football team right now. And I'm really, really excited for the season. What it has to hold and what it has to offer. So I feel like next year, we'll make that jump, to compete for, hopefully a Big 12 championship.
One point of view you've had that we don't is going up against this O-line on a regular basis. Went from low numbers to now we got great numbers. What have you just seen as far as the evolution of that group?
These guys, they've changed some things, how they set and how they pass protect, but we're adjusting to it as a defensive line. I think they do have a lot of depth, and they have a lot of young guys that could really step in and play. If worst case scenario someone goes down, I feel like a lot of young guys for them could step up and they can really showcase some of their skills and their talents. So it's really exciting to go out there to compete day in and day out with those guys.
Have any of the young guys really impressed you?
I'm a TJ Franklin fan. I'll say that. I'm no coach. I'm no Frank Ocam, but TJ is a guy that I have a lot of utmost respect for. He's a 17, 18-year-old kid, and right now he should be in high school. He should be hanging out with the guys he grew up with, getting ready for prom, getting ready for graduation. He's here in Waco, Texas, trying to get better, trying to become a very good football player, and I think ultimately he will one day. But just with all that being said, that shows the level of toughness and competitiveness, to compete with some grown men out here day in and day out. So I think, TJ Franklin could be a guy who could definitely help us in this offseason. I really think he could have a successful career here.
He's got some good size for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he got some length. He got some length. He's kind of twitchy. You know what I'm saying? He got some good quickness. He just got to figure it all out. Figure out how to be whatever Coach Ocam's telling him to do. Just do that consistently and just keep with it, man. But one thing, I really respect him. I mean, he's very competitive, man. You know, you can tell he wants to get better. You can tell, you know, he wants to be on the field. And I think, you know, if he keeps doing what he's doing in spring ball and stays healthy, I think he could, you know, definitely help us out.
What's it like? Did I already ask you about Joey McGuire?
No, you said,
Okay.
no, sir, you're not.
We're doing a lot of interviews here. What has it been like having Joey McGuire over on defense and working with you guys?
It's exciting, man. It's exciting. You know, there's some days where, you know, guys, they're kind of sluggish, and he'll turn you up, man. Me and Coach McGuire, we've known each other since high school. You know, when he was at Cedar Hill, and there's a mutual respect going on between him and I. It's an honor just to get coached by him. I feel like he's really took my game personally to the next level, and I'm just trying to, you know, take any criticism he has, and just trying to, you know, he's been around the game for a long time, and he's a defensive coach, so I'm just trying to take anything he has to say and apply it on the field every day of practice, and just try to, you know, get 1% better.
Thanks,
Thanks,
James.
Anytime.